As a culture, we massively overestimate the value of multitasking, whether that's at home, in the office, or the way we set up our technology. In this video, I want to show you how focusing on one thing at a time is actually a much better use of our energy. I'll also be giving you some practical tips on how you can set up your space to be more conducive to monotasking. As always, if any of the ideas resonate with you today, there's one thing you can do to support the channel, and that is hit that like button. It sounds stupid, but when I was younger, I used to think that the more screens you had, the more successful you were. I'd look at my friends in highly specialised careers, be that traders or artists, and be envious of the amount of screen space they had compared to me and my dinky little laptop. Soon enough, as I moved into different offices with more resources, I started requesting more screens so that I could feel like I was the master of my own desk. In my job, I do a lot of spreadsheet work and presentations, so I always thought that having 2 screens or 3 would give me an advantage and allow me to sort of drag and drop things from screen to screen. But as workplace technologies evolved over the past 10 years or so, I found myself having spreadsheets on one screen, Slack on another screen, and maybe email on another screen entirely. It just ended up being constant distractions, especially when you've got Slack on your phone going off in your pocket with notifications the whole time. To be honest, it made me worse at my job because I was never really concentrating on anything. As soon as we knew we were going to be working from home, I decided to completely strip back my setup and focus on a single screen approach. At work, I spend a lot of time on spreadsheets or presentations, and I like to do video editing too. So an ultra-wide monitor gives me enough space to do more expansive work while maintaining a single plane of focus, and I don't have to worry about notifications pinging off in my periphery like you would have if you had a laptop holder with your screen up on the side. To make the space even more focused when I'm working, I actually leave my phone in another room as well, just so that I don't get tempted, and I only have my iPad on me if I'm using it for the task at hand. And just on the iPad, I feel like it's the perceived wisdom out there that you need a brand new iPad Pro or one of the new iPad Airs to really get anything productive done. But I love the iPad mini for this, and I'll tell you why. It's because the space is limited and I have to be more creative with what I've got here. And I feel like if I had an iPad Pro, I wouldn't really be able to justify the extra screen space unless I was running several apps at once. The small form factor of the iPad mini means that I can actually just work on one app at a time. For me, that mostly means making thumbnails for my YouTube channel or Instagram posts. I feel like part of the reason that I'm getting more confident in using Procreate, for example, is because I really focus and have grown an association with my iPad mini in terms of creating a creative space for me. If you're the sort of person who likes to write things down, you might want to think about having multiple notepads, one for each project that you're working on. For example, if you're learning French, then it goes into this book, and if you're learning coding, then it goes into this book. That just helps you to keep your thoughts separate and go into the right space that gives you focus on the one project that you're working on. In my job, I actually work across multiple projects, so I have different sections within one larger notebook that allows me to dive right into the right place rather than writing it all in chronological order. The digital equivalent of this, if you're a Google Chrome user, is to set up multiple people in your browser so that you can hop between different projects with different bookmarks and different Chrome plugins whenever you want to. So as you can see, I'm a big proponent of monotasking, but that doesn't mean that there aren't some situations where it's okay to multitask. I think when the mental and physical load of 2 different tasks don't compete, then you can get away with multitasking. For me, that's things like listening to an audiobook while I'm doing the dishes, which doesn't really give me much satisfaction, and it helps me feel like I'm at least learning something while I'm cleaning up. But I also think that once you've reached a true level of mastery in one field, then you probably are able to multitask. I'm sure there are people who are so good at video editing they can listen to an audiobook at the same time. For me, I would definitely struggle with that because I'm not really there yet. But hopefully this channel is all about self-improvement, and you can see that we're all on the same journey together. If you do want to hear more from me, then please do consider subscribing. But that's all from me for now. I'll see you in a bit.